And we walked in there with Tupac again. We walked in that thing. He said, yo, man, get Goodie Mob some Hennessy, get us some chairs. Yo, man, what y'all want, man? Whatever they want, man. Get them boys what they want. It's documented, too. I ain't bull crapping with you, man. And Home just embraced us with so much love. Even that night, he performed this song called The Good Life. And he got on there, Goodie Mob in this thing.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And it was just love, man, that he embraced us with. And it was great, me, man, because I loved him as an artist. You know what I'm saying? Just a fan, straight up. And just to be received by that man like that, it was just great. He wanted to do a record with us that night. He wanted us to be down with this project he had called One Nation. So it was real, man. Real deal. Yeah. Dressed in fatigue, black jeans and boots, and disappeared in the crowd, and all they seen was troops. That's Pop. Tupac, quote from my boy Pop. We was sitting there, and they got the Soul Train Music Award. He had on the black jeans and boots with the fatigues. He was disappearing in the crowd. All that shit he talking about, we was right there that day. That's the first time we had all met him.
Tupac Shakur was one of the, the biggest, situations that I can speak of, that I'm so honored to have been a part of that and just to been in the right place at the right time. I actually was invited by my boy, who's a mutual friend of Tupac's, to come down to the How Do You Want It video shoot. And Casey and JoJo were there, and they were singing on the song chorus, How Do You Want It? And, there was all these porn actresses, and I mean, it's just like python snakes, and they just had some really wild stuff going on at this video shoot. But I ended up coming into the RV, and Pac was there, and that was my first time meeting Pac, and he was just like, man, let me hear some beats, man. And I played him some beats, and he started freestyling to some of my beats, and it's just incredible to just see such a successful dude who had such a thuggish sort of persona, but be so cool. Like, if you were on his side, if you were his people, he looked out for you. He'd be like, no, that's my man Jon B, make sure he's good or whatever. And that's where me and Casey and JoJo met for the first time, but also Johnny J, the producer of the track for Are You Still Down? God rest his soul, as well as Tupac's. He died a couple years ago, a couple years back now. And we just, every time I step on stage and I think about what it was like to be in the studio finally with Pac and Johnny J and making these records, it just was such an honor, man. It was 2 weeks before Tupac passed away. The whole process of making the song was like maybe 3 or 4 hours long. It was just like, it was really fast. I mean, I didn't even have enough time to like either really get used to hearing the song before my man got, his life got taken. So it was sort of like this gift and this curse at the same time, because here I am, all excited about having a song with Tupac Shakur, and he's not alive anymore to even vouch for me or say, yo, this is a dope record, and I just didn't feel all the way solid about releasing something when someone had just passed, and it was definitely like a catch-22 for me. But the record got leaked, and it started to pick up, and people started asking me, so you work with Tupac, did you really work with him? And I was like, yeah, man, like, I'm blessed to be able to say I did work with him. I did shake his hand, we talked about the relationships that we were, that we've been through. And, we were talking about hitting your ex up, like, are you still down? Do you still, you know what I mean? You still think about, because back then I was probably 20, 21, 22. So at that point, I'm talking back to like my first, my first love and all that, and I think he was as well. Like, we were talking about, we didn't say any names particularly, but, getting into all that deep stuff. What's really what made me know that I was in the right place and that I was comfortable and I didn't feel like all that nervousness was that the camaraderie was there. Like, he would make sure there was like 40 people from Death Row Records, like, all just coming in, and everybody's, drinking Hennessy, and, the smoke in the air, and it's just like, this very thick atmosphere inside there. So, but everybody's paying attention, listening to what we're doing. But as I go in the vocal booth, new people come into the studio, and Pac was like, what's up, man? And then they kind of like chilling, and they're just like, yo, who the white boy in the booth right there? You know what I mean? And he's like, that's my man Jon B, man. You don't know who that is? That's Jon B, Just so he bigged me up like that. It was huge, man. I'll never forget it, I didn't want to leave, I ended up being able to be a witness to him actually recording To Live and Die in LA. Like, right there. Like, he basically said, come on with me. And I walked over to the other studio, because we were in this studio and he was over here recording another record at the same time. Because he used to record like 3 records a day. So anyway, he starts to play the first track that he did, which is like the first the first layer of his vocal, because he would always double track his vocals. And then he went right on top of that track. Let's record it. He went in the booth, and I mean, it was like one take. He just did it again. No mistakes, nothing. And that's the song To Live and Die in LA, featuring Val Young, who was, she was there as well. To live and die in LA. You know, she's so awesome, and she's just, you know, she knows, like, we were both sitting there just like, really? You know, it's amazing, so.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Tupac would walk in the studio and say, is that the beat? We'd be like, yeah, that's the beat. Yeah, how many bars? 16 bars? 16 bars. And he'd grab a pen and a paper and he'd start writing. And he would just write. He would never stop writing. And he would just write. He would just write. About 5 minutes later, 10 minutes later, maybe he'd say, I'm ready. He's like, ready for what? He's like, I got my verse. Like, what are you talking about? You just walked in the room. He's like, I'm ready, put me in the booth. And he'd go in the booth with this paper that he just wrote on, and he would just rap some shit that was just like, you're like, you didn't just make that shit up. You fucking had this shit memorized in your head or something. But who knows? He just, every time I've been in the studio with him, he just wrote really fast. And I've read articles and magazines where, like, his guys, the Outlaws, would say, you listen to some of the songs, and Tupac raps 2 verses, and then some other rappers start coming on. They're like, the only reason one of the songs are like that is because he wrote those 2 verses so fast, he ran the booth, recorded them. That's just how the song went. Like, no.
That's a tough one. There's a lot of different artists that I would have loved to work with from different genres. Certainly with hip hop, one of the most intriguing conversations I had is when I showed up at Steve Rifkin's office, when Steve Rifkin was a promoter out in LA. He was a record promoter. There was this guy in the waiting room, you know, in the entrance, and we just struck up a conversation. We had a great conversation, really deep guy, you know. It was Tupac. The guy had a lot to say, you know. Probably the exact opposite of Biggie in so many ways. But if anything, I'm really glad I got to meet him, got to meet Biggie, and got to really be a fly on the wall for the whole, you know, early 90s hip hop. I mean, it was talking about politics. That's what we were talking about. So events, things that were going on. And I can't remember who was, it might have been Reagan days or something like that. But yeah, guy was super aware.
I didn't get a chance to do anything with Tupac, but I definitely hung out with him. And he's a funny guy, you know, hung out with me in Seattle. And I hung out with him in Atlanta by myself with him one time. Real cool dude, real humble.
That day Pac is not on the set, but his trailer is right next to me and Marlon's. So we end up going to his trailer and everything, you know what I'm saying? And I don't even know if Marlon gonna remember this, but we go in his trailer. He had a box of blunts, right? The Philly type blunt, them big ass Philly blunts. Smell like weed in there, we chilling. Boom, 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 at the door. Now it's Tupac's trailer. Now every day he had, like, I don't know how many hundreds of extras, girls, all girls, like, and guys, but mainly girls, young too, out there in front of the trailer before he got there, after he got there. And even on the day he ain't there, you know, they popping up, knocking on the door. So I'm thinking it's a production assistant to come get us out the room. Nah, it's one of the girls, 2 of them actually, right? Cute ones, you know what I'm saying? Kind of cool. Marlon's like, bring him in here. Come on, you know, Marlon's silly, so he said, come on, bring him in here. So we let him come in. 2 of them come in, but one like, I'm a bail. So one of them bails, right? So it's me and Marlon, and then we with this girl. And nothing's going on. She's just kind of like talking a lot. Can I use the bathroom? You know, in the trailer, it's like a little small bathroom in there. So she goes in the bathroom, and me and Marlon, we sitting down. He's sitting like right there. I don't know what the hell. We must have thought something was gonna pop, but you know, wasn't nothing popping really. So he's sitting down, I'm sitting down. We on the little couch, bullshit couch that's inside the trailer. Boom, open up the little bathroom door, come out on all 4s. You know, yeah, she crawled out the bathroom, you know, on her little hands and knees. You know, had taken off her jacket or sweater, whatever she had on. It was wintertime, so she had like a little jacket on, and had on like a see-through shirt that she had taken the bra off and all that. So here she is with like a long shirt just kind of covering her body some. She had the little leggings on. She took all that off, came crawling out, got over to us. I think Marlon like did some stupid shit. Like, I want to say Marlon like, he did something extremely playful with the girl. It wasn't sexual at all. He did something odd with her, you know, but the real production assistant knocks at the door. Now we got this girl in here literally half naked on her own. Nobody even said nothing to her about it. But it's kind of the power of Tupac, like, cause she didn't know me. That's my first movie. That's Marlon like second movie. She didn't really know us, you know? So the production system was cool. He saw the girl, he came in the trailer, looked at us like we was cool, but we had something popping, but it was looking like y'all got something popping, y'all young. How y'all get it cracking in here like this? We realized the Tupac trailer though, made her go back in the bathroom. So I was saved, you know, we were saved at that time, but made her go back in the little bathroom, put her shit back on, and then we left like, Now that's the movie that Pac got shot around that time. That's the movie with a rape thing. I was at Nell's when Pac got hit on the dance floor. Was at Nell's when that went down. Yeah, I knew Pac. It's weird when I think back. Yeah, I knew Pac. I talked to him 2 weeks before he died. I talked to him a week before he was shot, and then he lived another week.
Life. Tupac was so fucking cool. You know, he's another perfect example how people take a story and fuck the story up and embellish it. So they want to make him the bad guy and the heavy. He was never a bad guy. He was never heavy, and he was way fucking smart. He was a little genius. And what he used to do, like, I don't know if you know Venice Beach, California. So he would come to Venice Beach sometime and get the comics to Jones on each other, talk about each other. Now, he wouldn't do that with you. He wouldn't go back and forth with you, but he'd get one comic to get on another comic, so they'd be going back and forth. He used to hang out at the Comedy Store too, and he was like everybody's little brother, man. Everybody who knew him wanted to adopt him, because he was cool as shit with a huge fucking brain. His brain was out of this world. He was logical and thorough. I think that's his mama. His mama was just such a genius, and she really understood our society and how people really treat black people and how we have to stand up like kings if we ever want to be treated like kings. And she made sure he knew that from being very young, and it just flowed out of him. I remember for a couple of years, UCLA had a course just called The Poetry of Tupac Shakur. He's just that bad. So I really dug him, you know. He was just really a great guy, because I met him and Snoop when they were both really just starting. Because, you know, I got to California, because, you know, originally from Chicago, projects, Robert Taylor Home, 4352 South State, Apartment 909. But I got to California in '86. And that's just when Dre and Snoop Dogg and all of them was just starting. In fact, Dr. Dre and Eazy-E came to my wedding in '88, you know? So I used to hang with them because everybody came to Venice Beach, everybody. So they would see me, I befriended them, they befriended me, and we was just cool, man. But no, Tupac was the truth.
Man, I remember one time us being at a club downtown LA. I was upstairs, and these two dudes got in a fight. They start fighting. And one of the dudes was like, I'll be back. It just kept echoing in my head. Like, I was like, that dude means I'm gonna be back. Like, I think he's about to go get something. So I immediately went downstairs to where, you know, me and Pac and where our whole table was at. I was like, dude, man, these dudes, I told him what happened. Like, this cat's upstairs was like, getting into it. I think one of the dudes is coming back to really do something. I was like, man, you know, don't even trip off of that, homie. You got this girl over here, blah, blah, blah. I was like, no. We need to go. I think it's really about to pop off. You know, like, he like start walking with me, follow me. As soon as I said that, I swear to God, about 2 minutes later, and these dudes came back in the club, start shooting, like right where we were sitting, right where we just left from. He's like, oh shit. So we start running out the club, knocking everybody over and shit. You know, to him, he's laughing though. To me, I'm like, yo, this is not funny. You know what I mean? He's like, ah. I basically tell people I saved Tupac's life once, you know? And I think I really did at that moment. I think that could have been like it. That's what I'm saying. Like, Tupac had more than 9 lives. That dude escaped so much shit, you know what I mean? I knew the Pac behind the cameras, you know what I'm saying? And he wasn't that much different behind the cameras and stuff. Like, he was passionate. You know what I mean? That's just the one word. A dude was really passionate about, you know, the music and his message. He talked that shit, like, even when the cameras was off, you know what I'm saying? He was like freedom of speech, and he was one of the most, I don't want to say militant, because it wasn't like a militant guy like that. He was just really, you know, fought for what he believed in. Like, whatever he was feeling, he would let you know right there. He's the most honest, most straightforward dude ever, like, that I knew. You know, he was, and it was a lot of fun too, you know. Jokester, like to play a lot of games. I mean, you know, R.I.P. Tupac, like, that was my dude.
I'm in Atlanta with Jack the Rapper. At the time, I had a record label with my partners, Mark and Sean. It was a subsidiary of Def Jam called No Face. It was what Russell called what did he call it? Def Jam Associated labels. Jam Master Jay had JMJ Records. We had No Face Records, and we had signed a group of females called Bitches with Problems. They had a record out called 2 Minute Brother, and we were gonna sign Live Squad, which was my man Stretch and them, God rest his soul, but I ended up having Stretch and them sign to Tommy Boy, but at the same time, Stretch was producing with Tupac because him and Pac was really tight. So we came down to Atlanta, Jack the Rapper, and at the time, this was before Death Row, Pac had a house that he had bought for his mother in Atlanta. So we all, Jack the Rapper, all the festivities is happening, and we're in Atlanta. So we're on a rooftop, at a rooftop party. We chilling, and I don't know, have always been a seasonal weed smoker, I would say. I don't smoke every day, but every now and then, it'll be months before I'll smoke weed. But Pac and Stretch and Madge and Kalo from Live Squad, they smoke like chimneys. So I was always the blunt holder. Get a box of blunts to Ed, let Ed hold the blunts. I got all the blunts, I'm holding all the blunts. We're on the rooftop, we're having a good time. Party is swinging, there's a lot of celebrities there. The rooftop party is in the same hotel where I'm staying at. They were at a different hotel. The rooftop party is in my hotel. So I'm there, I don't see them. I know they walk around doing whatever. I'm chilling. Pac comes up to me and taps me and say, yo, let me get your room key. I said, what you need my room key for, Pac? Man, just let me hold your room key. I'm not trying. I said, oh, you trying to fuck? He was like, yeah, man, let me get your room key, bro, for real. I said, Pac, whatever you do, take them sheets off the bed when you finish and put them motherfuckers on the floor. You ain't fucking my sheets up. Man, just give me a room key, partner. I said, who you fucking, man? Who you fucking? He said, hey, don't turn around right now, but just go look when you give him a chance. I don't know how, do it smooth, turn around and look by the door to go back downstairs. So I'm just looking around, all of a sudden I spin around on my heels and I look and it was Left Eye. I'm like, oh, shit. So you about to get some TLC from a member of TLC, like, nigga, shut the fuck up, give me a room key. So I give him my room key, he breaks out, I'm partying, I'm having a good time. Not even 20 minutes come back, he come back, hey man. I said, man, you about the quickest dick motherfucker I ever met in my life. You finished? Nah, I ain't fuck that bitch. And here she come right behind Pac. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. I said, man, leave me the fuck alone, man. I'm sorry, Pac, I'm sorry. So he said, listen, man, I ain't fucking with you right now. So she walked away all distraught. So I'm like, yo, bruh, what the fuck happened? Man, give me a blunt. I'm looking at blunt. I said, bro, what happened? Stretch come over there too. Yo, man, what the fuck happened? She walking around telling me to tell you she's sorry. What happened? So man, we get up in the room, right? I get ready. You know me, I'm out of my clothes. I'm in the bed. I pull the cover. I'm ready to bust her ass. I'm ready. She tell me she just gonna go in the bathroom real quick and slip into something, you know? She came back out and she had on a sports bra and Naughty by Nature boxer shorts. And Trent said, Pac got upset. I said, fuck this shit. He says, Trent is my man. You wanna fuck Trent? Let me know. And bounced on her because she had her boy Naughty by Nature boxers. I was like, wow, God, word. Pac was clowning. He always clowning, man. He was a clown.
I was in the bathroom at the Lords of the Underground album release party, and I was taking a whiz, and right next to me was Tupac. So we finished up about the same time, and we go wash our hands, and they have, you know, the vendor that has like the cigarettes and gum and candies and stuff like that. Pac's like, yo, where's the blunts? And he starts, you ain't got no blunts? You ain't got no papers? And he starts to get like heated. He starts to go into Tupac mode, and I'm washing my hands. I'm like, yo, chill. I was like, I got blunts, I got weed, I got everything. So just relax, don't beat this dude's ass and go fucking whatever you're gonna do on him right now. So he's like, you do? Who you with? I said, I'm with my man Big Rich. Big Rich was in the mailroom at the time at EMI. So I was like, where's he at? It's like, he's outside, just right out there, he'd be with me. And then she goes, all right, you and him, come with me. So I said, all right. We go up to the VIP, there's all the characters. It's Lil C's and Big, Pac, Haitian Jack, Stretch Walker, and like, everybody's there, you know what I'm saying? So we rolling up, boom, boom, we smoke good, everything's good, you know, all this, that, you know, and it was just good vibes. So when I see And when the beef started coming out and everything, and you really knew these cats, you knew that really like Pac and Biggie never really had beef. Like it wasn't them. It was like everybody around them, because they were all both involved in some real gangster shit. And you're gonna have different factions that have their own agendas that are gonna mess up your career. But just, you know, having those kind of, you know, we didn't have phones and stuff then, so you know, it was wild. But if you want proof of it, you could check out, if you check out Doodlebug from Diggable Planet's Instagram. We talk about the story. He was there that night as well with us, and he was like, yo, we all smoked with him that night. Like, there was a lot of love in the air that night. Even though, like, Lords wasn't really getting accepted at the time by, like, the New York underground, like, I felt like they should have been. Everybody was there to show out. Everybody was there showing love. It was really one of the better album release parties that I can think of. Because I've seen a lot of wild stuff, like Def Jam Christmas parties, and Ghostface throwing a bottle at Bone Thugs and Harmony, and, like, just all kinds of stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah, but that was one of the better ones where everybody was just getting along. It was all love. Boom. And the bathroom guy didn't get beat up. So
the moral of the story is you
rest
saved
in peace,
a life.
Pac and Biggie.
Saved a life.
So we're up in the VIP. You know, we're rolling up. We're all smoking together, like Biggie, Pac, C's, myself, my boy Rich, Doodlebug from Diggable Planets. And, you know, we're just passing them around. Like, they're just coming as fast as you can get them. And we saved that bathroom attendant's life that night. So, yeah.